What is going on? Welcome back. I got this new membership beanie, but it is so freaking big. So I'm just gonna change the beanie. Oh god, look how big this thing is. Holy shit, man. Why can't they just make normal beanies, bro? Alright. Alright, how's everyone been? Fuck, long time no speak. When was the last time we had a chat? End of season, right? The Essendon game might have been the last one. Jesus Christ. We have a lot to talk about. I'll put the link up. I'm going to have a bit of a chat first with you. Just let me put the link up. I forgot how to. Oh, here we go. Forgot how to do this for a second. All right. So yeah, welcome back to our first off-season Squawk with Swoop. Thank you all for joining me. There's 33 of you at the moment. We'll go for anywhere between 45 an hour or so. I know it's a Tuesday night and it's a bit different. I'm working from home this week, so it's easy for me. I just just roll out of bed in my PJs and straight into work. So there's a lot to talk about. Craig mcrae, Lepich, Bolton, all new coaches. And then obviously some off-season targets. We can talk about Dacos if you guys want to. So I've just posted the link. I can't. Hang on, let me just jump into my because I'm using StreamYard. But if I jump into my YouTube channel, I should be able to. I should be able to pin that. So just give me a second while I do that. Where did I post it? No link. I could have sworn I fucking posted it. All right, hang on. There it is. Let me just pin that shit. Okay, pinned. All right. So yeah, so it's pinned. Jump in. We will have a couple of chats. So I really want to talk about. Let's talk about first Craig mcrae and what you guys think of him. Leave your things in the chat, and I'll pin them as well. Like that. Sandra says the dream team, and yeah, we are assembling. I've been saying it on Twitter a lot. We're assembling the Avengers of coaching. It feels like. Lepich, I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram with some quotes that he said this morning on the Jared Waitley show, talking about how he's head of strategy, but also backline coach. Moore's going to be back. Philosophy of evolution and stuff like that. It is going to be. God, if you saw my Craig mcrae thing, it is going to be absolutely insane. Like I'm giddy. I'm absolutely fucking giddy. Anyway, enough of me chatting shit. Let's get Kev on. He's the first one I see. Kev, thumbs up if you're ready to go, dude. Beauty. Let's do it.
Mate, how are you? Oh, not too bad, mate.
Oh, tell me, man. Tell me your thoughts on the new coach.
I like it, to be honest. And I think the one thing I give the club credit for is to going for someone outside instead of picking our own people.
Yep. So we had a bit of a process. 93 potential candidates. Little down. I think Lucuria, Wright, Ball, Anderson, and someone else that I'm definitely fucking forgetting. Did well in recruiting, and Craig mcrae is a very, very good get.
What do you think of Bolton? Because he has been with Clarkson with that whole premiership year, and has coached 5 games before coaching Carlton. Just wondering what your opinion on that. Personally, I like the choice because at least that way it gives him not like in charge, but at least he can help out being an assistant as well.
Yeah, look, well, I was seeing in my comment section a lot of Bolton, not hate, but kind of like, why Bolton, Carlton. They saw what he when you apply when you grab someone like that who has been a coach and ultimately failed because Carlton just wouldn't give him a shot. He's kind of in a sense tainted, but what he's done now with working with Clarkson and stuff like that, he's just got so much experience under his belt, and I think he's director of coaching. So Craig McRae obviously has done a huge apprenticeship, and I think that with Bolton, sort of their head up here, Bolton knows the ins and outs of not only assistant coaching but head coaching with Carlton, with all the eyes on Bolton for the couple seasons that he was with. So I think Bolton is a very, very good recruit.
And even Leppich as well as an assistant, like three-time premiership player for Brisbane, coached Richmond as an assistant, went to Brisbane, unfortunately didn't last that long, for 3 years, came back and be a premiership, like a three-time premiership assistant coach. I think that is a really good get.
Yeah, that is probably on par with McRae's get. And Leppich, he picked his battles. He wanted to do a year of media. He said he wouldn't go back into coaching and stuff unless something really good came across his desk. And when your best friend gets a head of coaching role and he asks you to come and have a chat with him, you're going to have a chat. And I think that Leppich, if you listen to the interview today, he said, Leppich's pedigree is the backline, and we know how good our backline is already.
Yeah.
If we can improve on that, even if it's a 15, 25% improvement, that is just going to go such a long way. And it's going to be absolutely spectacular.
And hopefully next year, with no injuries like we've had this year, especially when Darcy Moore's been injured, Jeremy Howe, at least with Moore and Howe on the same team, it's going to be hard to try and stop not just one, but two intercept markers in Howe and Darcy Moore. And I think next year, I think if we can be around either just outside of the eight or in the eight, I think that we're going to be a very good team as well.
Yeah, and no, I agree with you. It's all about getting our, I guess the Darcy Moore injury wasn't anything that could be prevented. It just happened. That's what happens with those sort of injuries. But if we can keep, if we can keep a good back six on the park, back 6 or 7, I think it's going to go a long way. And top 8 is very optimistic, but I think it's I don't think it's too far. I don't think it's too far off. But my expectations next year is at least top 12. I think we'll finish. If we don't finish in anywhere, from 9th till a sneaky chance of 8th, but 9th till 12th, I think is a very good position for Craig and the boys.
Can I ask you a serious question? Do you think that we got ahead of Carlton in going through the process, obviously like mutually agreed to part ways with Box and then finding a new coach? Do you think that we are ahead of Carlton in that aspect compared to what they've done?
Yeah, so I think that and I think I've said it in a video somewhere, but I think that parting ways with Buckley in the middle of the year was because the clubs aren't stupid. They don't, unless you're Carlton, but the clubs aren't stupid. They know who's going to be in and out of head coaching roles, and there's been issues with Teague all year. The media's come for him all year. Carlton fans have come for him all year. So there would have been murmurs that he was going by year's end, and if that had happened, well, one, you can't have a coaching committee looking for a coach while you've still got a head coach there. So it just, that's like a spit in the face to Buckley if that was to happen. Kind of like what Carlton did to when they were interviewing, Lyon and shit like that while Teague was still in charge. But so I think we did get a very good jump on Carlton and whoever else. I don't think there'll be any other head coaches that'll be out of a job, but Carlton would have loved McRae, 100%. And now there's talks that they're going for, Kingsley, John Syracuse. They've interviewed Voss. Fagan said no. Are you I don't want to turn into a Carlton chat, but are you a young coach are you a first-time head coach that's going to coach at Carlton? If you don't make finals in 2 years, they're going to sack you? Of course not. So
yeah, and I totally on that. Sorry to cut you off. When watching that press conference, for I think it's Kane Little to say that or Mark says it was we aim to play finals next year. My thoughts were thinking, well, hang on a minute. What happens if you don't make finals next year? What happens if you fall short? What happens if you have like this EGM? And that, unfortunately, it sets the club back like 5 or 10 years. Like, are you going to be put like it's good to have pressure, but are you going to be putting too much pressure on the new coach to come in because it takes time to get used to the game plan. It takes time to able to play how you wanted to play and gel together.
Yeah, and you're right, and that's why that's why I would have liked a 5-year deal with McRae, but 3-year deal is good. Gets extended when he meets expectations. He comes in with a new coach and with a new coach, lower salary, so we have more room in the soft cap, and they've talked about that multiple times. Lets us get more coaches in, gets us more staff in. So it's a very, very good move all around. All right, Kev, I'm going to grab some other people on. As always, thank you so much for the chat.
That's all right.
No worries, and I'll talk to you soon, mate. See you,
all
mate.
Right, cool. Bye, mate.
Bye. All right, just going to go through comments quickly. Stevie J is our forward coach. All right. Lockie, thumbs up if you're ready to go, man. All right. How you going,
Lukey,
mate?
What's going on, mate?
No, not much, mate. Not much on a.
Not much. It's been a while, man. It's good to have you back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Very good to have you back. No, I'm feeling well, thanks for having me, I should say. Mate, I'm pretty cooked. I had my second vaccination today, but feeling a lot better. So thought I'd jump on for a bit, have a chat.
Yeah, man. What's on your mind? Let's go.
Mate, I think there was a good 6-7 week period where every single week you and I would say the decisions that we make at the end of this season are massive. They're so important. And it's so hard to not be wrapped as a Collingwood supporter at the moment. I'm genuinely so happy with the way these guys have gone about it. I think they've absolutely smashed it out of the park. McRae's come in, very, very highly rated forward coach. That press conference, watching it was just inspirational. I don't know. I know you were so up and about. I was watching your reaction. I was buzzing. Then Lepic, it doesn't get much better than that. It doesn't. It genuinely doesn't get much better.
On Twitter and stuff,
100%. And I've got a lot of Richmond supporter mates, and they're spewing that he's come to Collingwood because he's been given. And on Waitley today, he was speaking about how McRae's developed a specific role for him. Being that head of strategy, being that backline coach as well, that line coach. No one knows him better than Craig McRae. So, these guys are going to work really, really well in tangent, work really, really well together. And then you add Brendan Bolton to that mix who, remember he was at Carlton, but I don't think he was a terrible coach. I thought Brendan Bolton was a decent coach, and he's very, very highly rated as an assistant. So I'm very happy. But I don't know if you agree with me on this. Like we said a couple months ago as well, we need to readjust our expectations as well.
Yeah. 100%.
Don't want to go into next year expecting we're going to bounce straight back into the final series. Like you said, probably a 12th spot is realistic.
Yeah.
But, obviously you want to see improvement. But you've got to give McRae time to figure out his players, figure out who he wants, who he doesn't want, get some new guys in, hopefully, in the off-season, some trades potentially, which have been flying around, and we'll look a lot better.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. Like, you don't, and I know the only kind of I know we've been talking about, or me and Kev were talking about Carlton and stuff, and
Mhm.
what you don't want to do, and I think Carlton are a good example of what not to do with the new untried coach. And like, okay, Brisbane had new Fagan, but Fagan has been in the traps for he's 50 or whatever. He's been in the traps for so
Exactly.
long, and so has Hinkley when he joined the Power and stuff like that, and Johnny Longmuir. So like what happened to Simon Goodwin after mentoring, being Paul Ridge was his mentor
Mentored by Paul Roos, yeah.
into that, and same with Rudden at Essendon. It takes a while, and yeah, you're right. As long as we can temper expectations, and that's all it's about. I'd love to say we finished top 6, but
Yeah.
and
This is a
it's not
long-term
bad.
project, man.
Exactly
it's a
right.
long-term project.
Exactly
That's
right.
why we've got a young guy in, a relatively inexperienced guy in terms of the senior coaching role. It's because we need to build with this coaching group. And, like, these guys have come together. They know each other very well. They've been in elite systems, winning systems. I think that's what excites me the most. My biggest thing with Ross Lyon, those types of coaches was they've gotten close, but they haven't been there. Now, Justin Lepich, as we said before, Craig McRae, 3-time premiership players, 3-time premiership assistant coaches, been at Collingwood. It's an exciting time. We should be really excited. And, like the trades have been flying around with Lipinski. I think it'd be a great pickup, a great bit of business if we can get him on the cheap. Sam Wiedemann, same thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say with Sam, it's the Wiedemann name. That's the only reason people want to bring him back. I don't think that's the case. I think he's got a lot of talent. He's just not getting the game at Martin.
You're a big Weed supporter.
I'm a big Weed supporter, and I've got a lot of mates that are Melbourne fans as well that are terrified to see him leave because they know how good this kid can be. Pump some games into him, get him with the right development coaches who we've just brought in.
Yep.
He could turn into a monster.
Yeah, 100%. And he's what we've been calling out for as well. So and he's at one point Ben Brown wasn't getting a look in at Melbourne.
Correct.
And now Ben Brown's overtaken him. So
correct. But Ben Brown's, Ben Brown kicks 60 goals a season for 3 seasons. Ben Brown's a fantastic key forward. I don't know how a lot of teams didn't go after him, maybe with that knee. But Sam's 24. He's fully developed, or almost fully developed as a key position player. If we can get him on the cheap, absolute bargain. We need to make shrewd business in the next couple of years. That's what we need to do. Don't overspend on players. Get guys in that are going to fit in the cap, that are going to fit into a system.
Yeah, and we know from experience that key forwards don't grow on trees, and sometimes like with Weeds, he's not going to come for Melbourne aren't going to give him up for a 3rd round pick. So sometimes you have to give a little to get a lot back, So it's different if you want Stevens as a winger and Lipinski in there as well. Like you could get those guys cheap, but when we're in the market for a forward and there's not a lot of forwards, like look, we want fucking I always get him confused. Ben King from the Gold Coast.
Ben King, you're right.
Next year out of contract, he'll command at least close to $1 million a season. But
100%.
That's insane. If you can, and everyone, but it's 17 other clubs want him as well. You know what I mean? So if you can develop Weeds into a huge big game player, fuck.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Weeds was pick 9 in his draft, and a lot of people have been talking about Stevens being pick 5, etc., etc. I'd take Weeds if we can get him for a second and a third rounder, or a future late second or a third or whatever it might be. We can speak about the intricacies, at another time. But, as I said, it's getting guys that aren't going to command that ridiculous amount of money. Maybe not at the start, but we can develop them into that. There's a lot of room for improvement in our team, but we've got a good crop of players there already. I think there's just a few things that we need to, add on, like Tom just said there. Get Wiedemann, Stevens, Lipinski. Get that done alongside Dib and Dacos. If you had told me last year we get 5 players in, I would have ripped your hand off for it. I would have been very happy.
100%. And that's the thing. Like I don't know. I think you might have mentioned it on Twitter. I know some people were saying it in the Instagram comments. I know no one can really say anything yet until the grand final is done. But
Mm-hmm.
If you've got Lipinski nominating you, if you got Stevens nominating you as the club of choice, we haven't had that for such a long time. And I know they're not like, they're not the Sarah from Fremantle nominating you. It's not a young king. They're not household names, but that's how the ball starts rolling, and that's how And then maybe Weedman says, "Yeah, look, I want to go to Collingwood," and he filters to the. I don't know if he can because I haven't looked at it, but maybe he filters to the preseason draft or whatever it is, So it's a good snowballing effect when even little players start nominating you.
Yeah, you're correct, and I think with McRae as well, I love the way he speaks. I think if he sat you down as a player in the room, you spoke to him about the game plan, what he wants to implement at Collingwood for the next couple of years. I don't know. I think I'd be very, very excited to join that project, especially 100%. As a young and up-and-coming talent. So, mate, there is so much upside, so much to look forward to. Very, very excited.
Yeah, 100%, man. Lockie, thanks. Oh, right. You want to plug what you're doing now?
Mate, no, I appreciate that, but I'm just doing a podcast / discussion channel on YouTube and Spotify. So yeah, check it out. Check me out on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Lachlan_Gommer. Provide heaps of updates on there, but it's called Magpie Season, the channel. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Too easy, brother. All right, man.
You're a legend, bro. Take it easy.
Man. Bye.
Cheers.
See you later. All right. Who the freaking hell is Sammy Skinner? Because I'm seeing it all in the comments, and he's not even in my queue. So come in the queue if you want to have a chat. If not, stop spamming chat. No, I love you all, but still, jump in if you want to. The link is pinned. So just jump in. Oh, hang on. Here we fucking go. Here we fucking. He jumps in now. All right, let's get him on quickly. It's pinned.
How you going, Luke, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. You got a bit of fans in there for it.
I told my mates I'd jumped in the queue. We're all big fans of your channel and all that, and they about 5 of them hopped on and encouraging you to put me in. But how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. What are your thoughts on everything going on since the Essendon game?
Oh, so look, obviously it was a poor season last year. There's no getting away from that. But I'm excited for next year. First of all, we have to do better than last year. There's no way around that. If we don't, then God knows. But look, the trade rumors about Lipinski, Wiedemann, all that, they're great and all, right? But there's a bit of an elephant in the room, which I've got a lot of spare time on my hands. Everyone's in lockdown. I've gone through our list, and we've got a lot of players. I just want to know your thoughts on a lot of especially the uncontracted ones. What do you reckon we do with them?
So I know there's talks that Cox, and I'm not saying that these players will command second rounders or anything like that, but Cox looks like he might be on the outer. Sire can't fit in to a team that didn't even have Pendlebury at one stage. The Browns weren't playing. He should have staked his claim. He didn't. They were picking kids over, a midfielder that is not a bona fide midfielder, but, he set 2018. He was on fire in 2018 and all downhill from there. Max Lynch, very good cover if Grundy ever goes down. But we've also got Aiden Begg coming through. So if you can get an early third rounder for Lynch, Hawthorn need a ruckman. Even Geelong need a ruckman. Giants will need a ruckman after Mumford's gone. So those 3 already, guys that are gone. Anton Tohill's gone. But I don't see anyone. Let me know your thoughts. Do you see anyone getting traded that we don't think have been mentioned before? I don't know. Let's say a side bottom or just someone fucking absolutely random. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, there's clubs that have done it in the past. You look at I see it similar to North last year, who dropped off. I remember they were expected to maybe not be quite as good as we were expected to be, but they dropped off significantly and they cut 12 players or something.
Yeah.
So look, I don't think because we're different to them. Obviously, we didn't, sell the house to get all these, let's be honest, average players in. So, look, I would hate to see players like, well, not hate, but like, look, if it was in the best interest of the club and the players were, not like last year where we forced them out, but like, if it was best for both parties, you know what? I'm a Collingwood fan. I'll support whatever's best for the club. But look, some players like Josh Thomas, I like him. He's been a great player for a while, but I could see someone like him, especially we've got young forwards like Ginnivan, who are going to come through and take his place. One player who could get traded, who I actually quite like, I think he's very underrated, and that's Madge. I like the way he goes about it. I don't know why he gets the hate he does, but he's definitely good cover at least, especially with Darcy Moore, Jeremy Howe. They're injury prone. We definitely need him, I would think, and that's another thing we should probably target is a key back. I mean, we would all love a key forward, but we've really struggled with height in our defence this year, I reckon.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, and Ruffy and Howie aren't getting any younger either. And do they? It doesn't look like Buckley and co didn't look like they trusted Keane lepper especially when there wasn't any Darcy Moore, there wasn't any Jeremy Howe. They still opted with Madge. So is that something that Lepper looks at developing him into a not a key back? We still will need a key back. I always thought that mcrae Keane was a intercept sort of defender, kind of like a Darcy Moore, kind of like a Jeremy Howe. But you're right, fullbacks. There's talks of Nathan Kruger from Geelong, but again, how do we get someone in? It's going to be a lot of interesting pick tradings and shit like that this off season.
Yeah. Well, yeah. For me, look, whatever happens, for me, Collingwood going to see them play. I go to every game I can. Just going live. I hate watching them on telly. I need to be there. I need to be amongst it. So look, wherever we finish next year, whatever happens, the players, whatever, I'll support them. I'll go to the games. I'll enjoy myself because that's what it's about. That's why we love the club.
Yeah, 100%. And let's hopefully next year we get to see mcrae's game plan in person, not just with Brian Taylor fucking commenting on how many premierships he won. Thanks so much for joining me, brother.
All right, thanks, Luke.
Appreciate you. Tell your mates I said bye. See you, bud.
Bye.
All right. A lot of throw Myercheck back. Myercheck was obviously recruited as a fullback, centre half back. I think there was a game where he did play back. I think it was when Darcy Moore was forward. They did a bit of a switcheroo. So that was fun. But I don't know. I like Myercheck up forward unless Lepic fucking wants to chuck him forward. And don't forget that we've got I know fucking Lockie likes him. Ash Johnson as well coming through. We haven't seen anything of him. So he could be absolutely special. The sky's the limit. All right, so Shawnee, you ready, mate? You're next in queue. All right. Oh God, I'm just cramping in my hand for a sec. All right, let's go. Oh fuck. Oh shit. How you going, mate?
Yeah, no, doing well. We've obviously had a pretty interesting off season, that's for sure. Got nothing but positive things to say. To be fair, I mean, even with like the Ash Johnson, how with Lockie was going on about that, we've actually got a lot of guys. I feel that that just haven't really had any games into them, and especially with how like the VFL went, and I guess how the whole entire, I guess in a sense, AFL has been over the last 2 years now with the whole COVID stuff. It's been really hard to get people, I guess, on the park, and then to actually get them to develop as well. Even with Lockie, I saw his highlights when he was playing for, I believe it was Sturt. in the sample and stuff. And boy, that guy can take a mark. And
Yeah, he
he's
can.
24. He's got the right age profile. Even though, when was it? Yeah, and then even in the same mid-season draft, we also picked up Begg. I've seen a couple of highlights from him as well. Moves like it's so weird because he moves so much like Moore, but then he's been touted to be as a key forward that can, a ruckman that goes forward, but at 197 centimeters, I just don't know if he's like tall enough in the AFL sort of like sizes, because like ruckman these days are over 2 meters tall. So even if we have him as a forward that is second ruck, I mean that could be something as well. But yeah, the only thing that I have that's like a massive sort of like concern is probably like our key backs. Because Tohill's gone now. I looked it up. Minus obviously Begg, and I can't think of his full name, but he's been called Roo basically.
Oh yeah,
Big Roo.
I'm not even gonna attempt to.
No, because like I haven't heard his name in a while, so it's been a while. So, and that's the thing, I don't even know what he's like. So could he be a key defender? It's probably to throw him in there this early would be a bit sort of tough if he hasn't had that exposure playing defense.
So so I think Roo's been recruited as a ruckman, learning off Grundy and stuff like that. But Roo's would be at least two years away. He's supposed to play for Oakley this season, and I'm pretty sure they didn't even get many games, and he obviously wouldn't have joined them because we would have heard something like that. But I agree. And like Sammy was saying as well, our backstocks, and no one really talks about it. And
in terms of our mid defenders and our small defenders, we've got a hell of a lot. It's just the key defenders that we have issues in terms of like having. That's why I was even thinking like someone like Italia would be a fantastic get.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think I first heard Essen were into him, and now it's apparently Richmond are all certainties to get him now. So that ship might have already sailed. But yeah, just get someone in that's like around. Like even like as I was saying, like with Begg, like yes, he's been touted as a forward ruck sort of thing or ruck forward, but as I said, like when you watch him play, he moves a lot like Moore. So maybe even trying him down back. He's 197 centimeters. Can't really see anybody else really, unless if Roo is a defender himself.
Yeah.
There really isn't much there. But then in saying that too, like if you look at a lot of the kids we have, just as an overall perspective, there's a lot of talent like on the list. Like even if you want to go as far as personally, it wouldn't be far off to say that we probably, in terms of all the people that we debuted, we probably even haven't seen the best one. So with Reef, Reef could potentially be our best recruit, and he didn't even get to play. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of upsides in terms of where we're going. I did cheekily put in the comments before the stream started that, and I do genuinely believe it. I think in 6 years we're gonna be the first AFL team to have 17 premierships in 6 years' time, and hold me to it, because in 6 years' time, I reckon in that sixth season we'll have our second premiership.
Wow,
and it's a big call, but I'm happy going with it, because I just feel like just the way how mcrae is talking, sorry, not mcrae, mcrae is talking, and just by the way he's holding people accountable and how things are, the fact that he's been, keeping people accountable too, like the fact that even though we probably may have known, but like the fact that he's calling out how like Grundy like hasn't really like been saying much in terms of when it had come to meetings, like he basically said the same amount that he did when he was here in 2015. So the fact that he's like putting someone like that on blast, it's and I do feel like we have always had that as as a club. Even there was a lot of times in like even the era of like 2010 of like there was a lot of times as a team we just weren't just like as a team like we kind of felt we were like too good for the competition, if that makes any sense.
I know that
and
in 2011 we just walked over teams. That was fun.
but and it was just that thing where and mind you, back then we obviously had the talent then, but I feel like that same mindset is still used in here, but then we don't have the talent. So how all of us, well, the season that just happened, how you've been saying that we don't put teams to the sword, and that was probably our biggest strength back in like 2010. We could be completely off our game. Like for memory, like I think in 2011 we played Adelaide, and at halftime I think we kicked like 2 goals 12, 2 goals 14 at halftime. Second half we kicked something like God, what was it?
Yeah, that was that huge come from behind win.
And because it was just that thing of like, all right, let's just turn it on and just go. I think that's probably the difference between a team like that, which will obviously come. I mean, these guys are young, and it's going to take time to develop all of these guys. But in saying that, we're definitely not far off. And as I said, I'm going to stand by it. And God, what would it be? Would it be 2028? We'll see our 17th premiership. So I'm standing. I'm standing by it because I reckon we'll probably miss. It won't be back to back. We'll have one in the middle because that's normally how history goes. Like it's very rare you get back to back.
Yeah,
but I can see that 17th coming in 2028. Yeah, because I want to give myself that extra way. So this season starting 6 years.
Yeah, I want to hold you to that 20.
Yep. All right. Yeah. And then, so in terms of like other rumors, in terms of other players, has there really like been much? Because even with like Stevens, could be a good get, but I think he's a bit sort of in terms of like paying for him now. I don't think we have the draft capital to get him. Because it's sounding like was it Swans are wanting like a second round. Or like a future second round, and then having to get Dacos. I mean, obviously, we'll prioritize Dacos over anybody, really.
It's obviously, we're not gonna. It's gonna be hard, but like I said in that post, it's gonna be a bit of a fire sale at the Swans.
Yeah.
So they could just so
we could probably play ball them a bit, I guess, maybe. And but no, as I said, like when it's come to the future of Collingwood, it's as bright as it's ever been. I personally love the Leper and Bolton signings, and one of the things, and maybe this is just like a quick sort of note to put in, just because I mean I always like to hang shit on Carlton fans, like every now and then. One of the things I would absolutely love is that if we actually picked up Teague. Because again, I don't think Teague is that bad of a coach, and if we build up a good enough system around him, how good would it be if we actually got Teague and we actually won premierships with him? Like, and he doesn't. I'm not saying to be main coach clearly, but what if he's a mid coach, forward coach, defense, or it's just somewhere in the club?
I think he was forward coach when Bolton was at Carlton. I think he was forward coach.
Okay.
But that would be
and then just to rub it into Carlton fans' faces, just to be like, all right, well,
Bolton will help us get that premiership. Sean, I got a couple more people waiting, brother. Thank you again for the chat.
Yeah, no, always happy. Yep. All right, all good.
And liking the new dude. Looks good.
Yeah, no, I probably need to do a bit of a shape, but in lockdown, I don't think it matters that much. But
it looks
we'll
very
get it done at some
point.
point. All right,
all good. See you,
Yeah.
mate. Bye. All right. A lot of Dale tapping in the chat. Would love to have tapping back. Obviously, he was a coach at Collingwood before. All right, so we're at the 40-minute mark. Let's smash through. I've got 10 or so people waiting. Magpies Inc., you ready, mate? I've seen you finish what you were eating, so you ready to go now? Looks like you're going to pass out. All right, he's ready to go. How you going, mate?
Hi. I felt like I was on a date while I was eating.
I saw you, mate. I was because I can see everyone lined up and what they're doing. I saw you. You look like you're eating cereal or something.
No, I was
What were you
eating
eating?
pasta.
Oh, of course you were. Tell me, mate. Tell me. What's going on?
I don't know. Yeah, pretty happy with everything, I guess. You know, sorry, I just let me put the TV off.
No worries.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment it's sort of hearsay, but you know, based on pretty much what everyone said, I agree with everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I like the prospect of having fresh blood, but with success, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you know, not what's the word when you're jaded, not jaded by sort of, you know, time.
Yeah. No,
But, I mean, he's not, it's not like he's young. Like he's about the same age as Bucks, but in terms of, you know, senior coaching, he hasn't sort of, you know, he hasn't sort of had that, I guess. But but also, you know, the idea of him being a winner and the winning mentality, and yeah, it's good.
and that's why you know, and he said, and you'll probably be across it, but you know, he said in I think it was in the first interview or the Herald Sun interview or something like that. He mentioned that, you know, if he feels like I was the Nick Dacos thing. If he feels like Nick Dacos is going to be better suited going to a more senior coach in his panel, he'll put his hand up, you know. So and that's what I love about him as well. And he brings in that Leper who's had coaching experience, and then Bolton who's had coaching experience, and obviously he's untried as a head coach. But when you and we know that it's who you surround yourself with. Look at Buckley as an example. 2017 we were shithouse. 2018 we get in Hocking. What's his name? Because I'm going to mispronounce it. Longmuir.
Which one are you talking about?
Fucking Justin Fremantle.
Longmuir.
Fuck, I always get it wrong. You know,
Hocking, you did. You said John Longmuir. You said John Longmuir before. I was just like shaking my head in the
background. And you know, so Hocking, Longmuir, and you know, Matthew Boyd as well. And then they leave, and then we're stuck with what happened this year.
I mean,
and
I'm kind of like at the end of the day, there's not a formula. There's not a winning formula. Like you could sit there and you know, a premiership coach, there's not a formula to winning a premiership. You know, people could say Buckley didn't win a premiership because he didn't have the winning mentality. But if Dom Sheed had fucking missed the goal, he would have been a winner. You know, so it's out of his hands. So it's kind of like, you know, yes, I could sit there and go, this is great, mcrae's in. He's a 3-time premiership player. He's a 3-time. You know, he's been a part of three Richmond premierships in the background and a VFL premiership coach. All that, that's great. I mean, it is. It's genuinely great, and he's a winner. He's got a good mentality, and he knows what it means. But I mean, did Alistair Clarkson, was he involved in any premierships before he? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's no rhyme or reason. It's just, but it does feel good. That's the thing. It does feel good. And at the end of the day, you know, we get way too many injuries. We pay our players way too much money. You know, that's cost us probably 2 premierships in the last 5 years. You know, 100%. injuries and the fact that, you know, injuries really. I mean,
well, look at injuries. Cost us 2 premierships. It cost us 2018. Okay, the Dom Sheed kid.
I remember prior.
No more and no Elliott in 2018.
Yeah. I think, you know? I mean, I remember prior to making the grand final, we were probably. I remember we were playing Brisbane, and I think we just beat them. It was like a 5-7 point win or something. And it was the second time we played them, and I remember just that time, it was that feeling of like we just need a few more wins. It was, on tinkering in the top 4 and stuff, and I remember I don't know why I brought that up, but I remember looking at the injury list, and it was like 14 or 15, and we were still in the top 4. Like, we had so much depth way back then, like 3 or 4 years ago. We've sort of lost that now, obviously, because of who we've lost and also who's retired, and we've just got a lot of young boys that are sort of, still yet to sort of, develop and stuff. But yeah, I mean, we could have the same. We just don't have the depth that we had. But it's like, had we won that year, and it's all what if. Exactly. I mean, we probably would have. I mean, it takes a lot of luck to win a premiership, and injury is a massive thing. You can have injuries and win, but I tell you what, if you don't have an injury, you'll win. It's almost a guarantee.
Richmond have been very good injury wise the last 4 years.
Same as us in 2010. I remember Malthouse just tinkering with doors and cloak. Doors in, cloak out, cloak in, doors out. He was just piss fighting around with the ins and outs for no reason other than just trying to work out the right. We were winning. We had the luxury of, winning. Sorry, we had the luxury of doing that because we were winning, and eventually we got it right. And thank fuck we won the premiership because we almost didn't in the end. But but yeah, like you guys were just talking about 11, how it was, how good it was and how easy it was to win. Like, yeah, I still think back to that 10 years ago. Yeah, I still think back to that and that the game that was just mentioned, the Adelaide game, I was there, and doesn't matter how far we are behind, I always think that we can still win because of that one Adelaide game.
Yeah.
And it was. Sorry, I've forgotten the guys that was just on. What was his name before? Sean. Sorry, apologies, Sean. Like Sean just said, spot on. We kicked. I think we were 2-8 at halftime or something. It was 20. It was 20 to 52. We were 32 points down at halftime, and we woke up in the third quarter. I think we kicked 7 goals, and we were 9 goals at 3/4 time, and we kicked 11 goals in the last quarter in 13 minutes.
Yeah.
We were 23 points down 10 minutes into the last quarter, and we won by 43 points.
Yeah, it was. I remember that. I remember what
66 points in 13 minutes. And yeah, I mean, you can't do that all the time. Obviously, never have the best quarter ever. But we were so good that year, and it were really nice to get back there. But I haven't really even talked about. I just talk about old shit, really, because I don't really.
Right, that's we get you.
I don't know what we're talking about.
We get you in here as the historian, mate, because you got the best.
Yeah, well, I feel like everyone else has already talked about all the stuff, other than I'm really happy with the appointments. It's kind of time will tell. All the the trade talk. I'm keeping up with all that. What will be, and hopefully it is, like you said, it's nice to have these boys nominate Collingwood because, yeah, it's true. We haven't had that for a while. I mean, I remember Treloar did, he picked us over Richmond. And, the big famous one for me was Luke Ball, again, 10 years ago, when he nominated Collingwood and Ross Lyon wouldn't deal with Collingwood.
Did Jolly nominate Collingwood, or did he just end up? Do we just
Jolly? I honestly can't remember who Jolly, if he nominated, but I specifically remember Luke Ball nominated Collingwood.
Yeah, I remember Luke Ball nominating us. Yeah.
And Ross Lyon didn't want to deal with Collingwood. I actually think he just doesn't like Collingwood. I think that's why he didn't want to go, just because he just doesn't like Collingwood. And this is even prior to us winning the premiership. So this was into 2009. And then he went into the draft, and then we got him because I think the other clubs just respected the fact that he wanted to go to Collingwood. I think it was like that. I mean, I'm not an expert on how all that works, but Yeah, it was. I think it was just one of those scenarios. But yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, one thing I was thinking before I got on. Okay, so I know why, and you probably saw my post, but it's not necessarily exactly the post that I just posted. Okay, so I know why we appointed Craig McRae as coach.
Hang on, let me see if I can.
It's not really the post. It has to do with the post, but not really, because I was just thinking about the play on words. So Lucuria obviously was part of. Was he part of the? He's obviously part of the selection.
Yep, he was. Yep.
And his 5 flags. 5 bags. 5 flags. See where I'm getting there?
Getting it
5
up.
flags, 5 bags.
Can you guys see that?
Oh, don't. Oh, that one. Yeah, that was sort of different, but based on that. Yeah, so 5 flags, 5 bags.
5 flags, 5 bags. Oh, hey, let me get this off now.
There you go.
Stop sharing. All right, dude. As always, it's always a joy having you on. Go follow him on Instagram, magpies.inc. And we'll chat soon. See you, brother.
See you, olive head.
See you, bud. Bye.
Bye.
All right. All right, 51 minutes. Let's smash through. Get your thoughts on what's going on. Jay, ready to go? You'll tell me how to pronounce your name in a sec. How you going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Is it Jay or Jai?
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, thought so.
Long time channel consumer, first time contactor. It's good to be on.
Welcome,
obviously, a lot of people. Yeah, awesome. Lots of people excited about all the new moves, which is good. Coaching wise, really good. Really good cultural changes. I just wanted to get your opinion on some of the existing players and looking at some of our more utility players going into next year. I think it's a really crucial time for guys like your Nobles, Hoskin Elliott's, Thomas, even someone like Jack Crisp. Obviously, he's not a utility, but I just think with these new coaches, we've got probably going to get a whole new game plan. And then we've also got these like mid-range getting older players like the ones I just mentioned, and obviously a huge amount of kids. And I think sometimes guys like Hoskin, JT can get a bit, they're sort of the whipping boys. But I really think those guys structurally and just from a like mentorship perspective are so important for us this year. Just like guiding the kids through. What do you reckon?
No, 100%. Like, look, you can't. And we mentioned before, like Cox, Sire, Lynch, and stuff, but you can't ship out. If you start getting rid of a lot of senior heads, you're right. You lose that mentorship, and it's finding that balance of kids and maybe sometimes Will Hoskin Elliott shouldn't have been picked in the team, but you kind of pick him because he's been there. He knows what's going on. You don't want to put another young kid in the side because then you tip the scales into too many young kids. It is finding that balance. But like you said, Will Hoskin Elliott, Josh Thomas even could benefit from a new game plan. We saw what happened in 2018 with those two when they were just stay-at-home forwards, The last 2 years, Will Hoskin Elliott has been trialled up at half-back. He's moving up the ground. And I know that it's not the fucking 90s and 80s anymore and there's not just stay-at-home forwards or whatever. But, there was a time where I saw Jack Ginnivan collecting balls off half-back and he's kicked 16 goals in whatever it is, 6 games in the VFL and he's collecting disposals off the half-back line. So, it is all about the game plan. And I'd love to see Will Hoskin Elliott stay and kick a bunch of goals. But like you said, there is a lot of kids coming through that can play these roles as well.
Yeah, I'm really big on. So I think one thing that a lot of fans or a lot of us sometimes overlook is the high half forward role. We see this term sort of get thrown around a bit of like starvation corner, and it is like one of the toughest positions to play just because because you're in the forward line. There's that expectation that you got to hit the scoreboard. But if you've got those attacking forwards like Elliott, De Goey, Cameron, etc., staying deep, 9 times out of 10 they're going to be the target. So you can have these pressure forwards like Hoskin, Elliott, and Thomas play their role, only get 10 touches, and then they'll get relentless backlash about, where's their impact? What are they doing? Washed up, etc. But it's like, then you look at what they, the stats that they're actually meant to be getting: pressure acts, 1%ers, sort of forward structure. You even watch their defensive spread and stuff like that. And I just think that sort of experience playing that really difficult role of like high half forward, where you're not necessarily impacting the ball a lot, but you're there for stoppage structure, setting up front half defense. You're crumbing. You need a lot of experience at that position to play it well. And I worry about guys like McCreary, for example. If we get rid of these older blokes, like getting stuck there, and then they get out of sorts because they're just kids, and they're like see ball, go at the ball, score, which has been great to see this year. But I just think it would be smart and be wise to keep a couple of the experienced guys at those tricky positions, because they are a crucial position. And that's sort of what we saw. We saw Barco do it in 2018, Thomas, Hoskin, Elliott, is that tricky position where, you might not get 20 touches and score every week, but if you can do your 10 to 12 late tackles, late pressure, do the defensive stuff, I think that's really important, and it gets overlooked.
Yeah, 100%. And I remember earlier on in the season, Josh Thomas is a really good example of being the whipping boy. And I can't remember the game because I've got my memory is really bad. But there was a game where, he might have gotten under 12 disposals. But I remember posting about it or seeing someone post about it, and his pressure acts were like second in the whole entire game. And it's those things that you don't see when you just look at your AFL app and you see disposals, goals, and tackles
100%.
or whatever it is. It's McCreary, and you brought up McCreary and stuff, and he does it well as well. You said see ball, get ball. There's a vision of McCreary against I think it might have been West Coast, where, and he actually done it all season when he's been playing. He is just relentless at casing. He'll go at one guy will give the ball off. He'll go there. He'll just zone 4 different dudes, and you don't get a stat for that. But that intent, that you don't get like an applied pressure stat, you don't get super much points for that. But
or work rate, or like someone like Hoskin Elliott, for example, is like, he'll have games where he's getting 8 touches, and it's like, what are you doing? But it's like, if you're at the game and you watch his spread and his work rate just running, like these are that like running wing is like, it's such a dynamic role in modern footy. And there's when we don't have a Gaff per se, we don't have a Langdon, but I think these guys are experienced and they've got enough assets that they're like super important to play. Other guys like where we're going to play Dacos this year, where we're going to play Crisp this year, it's pretty exciting. But I think we've got to be careful not to throw the baby out with the bathwater with the new kids first, turfing out the experience, because we're going to need that balance.
I agree, and like you said, with Crisp and Dacos and stuff, it's exciting. It's where McRae and Lepper and Bolton and stuff, they're spoiled with choice now that Harvey has shown that Maynard can push up the ground a little bit more. Crisp can run through the middle. Johnny Noble can push up to a wing.
Jamie Elliott pinch hit.
Jamie Elliott can go into the middle as well. The goalies are good as a midfielder now, so they are just absolutely spoilt with choice. And it's about time that fucking things start going our way, and they will. And they will eventually.
Hey, I'm excited. I think like after the Brizzy loss this year, the boys sort of dropped their head. Hugely tumultuous off season, so much controversy on and off the field, and I think it took its toll. And then when you got guys that have played finals for the last 4 years and been competing, and then they sort of know by round 8 that they're not going to make it, there's always just going to be a lack of motivation. So once the season's alive again, like these guys will come back super hot. We'll get Jeremy Howe full season, fingers crossed. Darcy Moore, such a good back line. I'm pretty excited.
It's going to be good, mate. It's going to be absolutely good. Jay, thank you so much for joining us. First time.
Cheers,
hope to see you in another Swoop, brother.
Yeah, man, I'd love to pop in every now and then. Big
2 weeks,
respect
man.
for what
Have
you're
a good
doing.
one.
Cheers.
See you,
Bye.
mate. All right, Daniel, you've been waiting your role, mate. Let's get you on. You ready to go? Thumbs up, or are you asleep? I think he's falling asleep. Nah, here's a thumbs up. All right. How you going, mate?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. What are your thoughts on to get the off season so far?
I think it's exciting. You know, we have a new coach. You know, he was a great player for Brisbane. We have Bolton and Lepish. You know, and but I just want to ask you. I've been thinking about this for a few days. If we won the 2018 and 2019 grand final, would the team be different? Would Bucks be still the coach? And
Yeah, so obviously we're dealing with a lot of what ifs, and we talked about it with Magpies Inc. as well. If you win 2018, 2019 becomes, Sean said it's hard to go back to back, and it really is, but 2019 becomes a little bit more plausible. And what that does is it generates more money, more ticket sales, more memberships. You become more of an attractive club. You get players starting to nominate you. So the ball starts rolling, and Buckley Buckley definitely doesn't lose his job unless something dramatic happens where we just finish again. And we've seen it with West Coast, winning 2018, getting up there in 2019, and now, missing out on finals, and they've got pretty much the same team as 2018, and have added Kelly in, and Simpson is still in his job. So, it's when you're dealing with what ifs, it's really hard.
Yeah.
But I dare say that you win back to back. You can't you don't unless he says he's ready to move on. You don't sack your coach. But God, I don't even want to think about.
No, I still have dreams about 2018. I still have dreams about it. Don't worry about it.
Man. Makes me so fucking sad.
I know. I still have dreams about it. Talk with my grandma. She says, "Move on. Don't worry about it." I was like, "Oh, I can't." There was one kick 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, man. It's whenever you it's one of those games where it just pops up into your head all of a sudden, and there goes your fucking week, correct?
Yeah, but we have to move on to, from that. It's 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But the future is really looking good. But I think what Manny said against Hawthorn, no matter what coaches we got, if you play shit and with no effort, we can't win games, as Manny said. Yeah. And that's what were you saying? Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's the thing as well. And Jay said it where, after a certain round, like round 8, he proposed where the guys knew that, and we knew that we weren't going to make finals either. And then you start playing a lot of kids, and you kind of resign to the fact that you're not making finals. Not that the players are giving half effort, but you could tell in that Essendon game and ultimately that Hawthorn game as well, you just start running out of steam. You just want the preseason to start. No coach. So the second half of this season was really just waiting for next season. And I don't think that we're going to see those half-assed efforts anymore. It's going to be, with a new coach, and every new coach, it's just a shot of adrenaline. That's what it is. And the thing is can you ride that adrenaline for more than one season? And I fucking hate bringing it up, but Carlton do it a lot as well, because they go through all their coaches. When Teague was their caretaker, they were good, and it's just about keeping that adrenaline going. And if mcrae, if we come out and win whatever it is, 3 of our first 5 games or 3 out of the first 6 games, it's just about let's keep that going.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, don't drop off, because once you drop off, it's so hard to get back up again. But we have to be focused, put effort in. The coaches, hopefully, we can get Lipinski and whoever the other guy is. Forgot his name.
Evans.
Whatever. If we get few people. If we get these good targets and the coach is good, good coaching plan, And if we if the players try hard and do well, hopefully we can make top 8 just, but it'll be hard.
Yeah, that's a bit of a top 8 is a bit of a reach, and we all like to be optimistic. And I think in football, it's good to be optimistic. It's not good to be stupidly optimistic like I was at the start of the season, but a little optimism doesn't hurt. All right, Daniel, mate, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
No, mate. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Bye.
You know, crispy pies. Thumbs up if you're ready, mate. All right, done. How you going, bud?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, good. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Good.
Good.
What's going on?
That's fair enough. Just had a few points about potential trades and stuff about who potentially goes out. So looking at who we've brought in over the last sort of few weeks and months, or last few years at least. So you got 4 forwards, I think. So we've got Johnson, Begg, McMahon, and Kelly that are sort of lined up to take over. Do we consider trading Mychek or Cameron or something like that? Try and get some games into those younger ones.
It's funny you should say that. I saw something on I don't know where I saw it, if it was Twitter or Instagram, that someone threw up a Mychek trade scenario. And I haven't really thought about it. And I think Mychek is someone. Look, disregarding this season where he was just off, he kicked like 35 or something ridiculous like that. It's an interesting one, something that no one's really talked about. He could potentially be worth a bit to a team looking for a player like that. But, if you start, and I know what you're saying, and you kind of saw it, with Treloar and stuff like that last year. When you start messing with the fabric of someone who hasn't really missed a game except for that concussion or whatever it is, those are the kind of things that are just momentum killers. Unless he says, look, I see that you've got Kelly, Johnson, Wiedemann, Cameron. I don't think I can make it into this team. And I think I can't remember saying it, if it was Lockie or Sonny.
I think I saw something about it. And
if it's better for them for their future, sure, move them on, but not if you're going to force them out because you want a late second round draft pick. But this is the sort of conversations that we love to have around off-season time,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a few players that would sort of be on the trade table, I would think, a bit controversial, but side bottom potentially is. I would put him forward, especially if we get in Lipinski, who's got he's got a few years on side bottom, at least 6 years or so on side bottom. You got, of course, Braden Sire most likely gone, and then players like Cox, that'll probably go. But I just thought that was interesting, just to see, because I know that there are players going to be leaving. Don't know who, but pretty keen to see who we get in, and it should be good. So super excited with the mcrae appointment, and hopefully they get to work in the next few weeks, because I'm a bit impatient when it comes to all this stuff.
I think we're all itching for him to go, and I think like you said, mcrae, he had, there was reports that he's had a chat, or he came out and said he had a chat with the players and stuff, and he's going to have these conversations, and we could see a turnover of 4 to 5 players. I guess if you're including the 3 that have already left, you could see maybe 7 players that leave us, if you're including Greenwood, Tohill, and Chris May, which you have to, because that's 3 list positions gone already. So, we could see a high turnover. Do we see a turnover like we did with last year, where we have to force players out? I think the salary cap issue has been exaggerated a lot, and there's probably going to be people in the comments and stuff like, but Graham Wright said we're pretty tight. But Graham Wright couldn't say that Greenwood and Main, who are probably on $400,000 each, are leaving. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
time-
there's definitely going to be a bit of cap space, I reckon. So, and then it's just a matter of who we go for. Lipinski, probably a done deal by now, and then whether Wiedemann, who I don't know if I would take over Riccardi. I think Riccardi would be a pretty good option. I mean, his debut, he kicked 4 goals and very strong in the marking contest. So whoever you take, I mean, as long as we get a key position forward, and then maybe see if we can get a key back or something along those lines, just as a, and even if that means my check goes back, allowing like Johnson or Kelly or someone to come forward into the forward line, get some games into Johnson, because I reckon he'll be good. But yeah, maybe that's the way to go. So yeah.
No, that's and you're right. Like, and we discussed it earlier as well. My check down back could be the revelation that we need. And we talk about Wiedemann and stuff like that, and we have Kelly coming through as well. And I know they're not sort of number one marking, number one forwards with Johnson and stuff, but Lepic could fucking turn my check into an All-Australian defender. Who knows? And I think that's something that they will trial, because he won a flag with Port Melbourne as a fullback or a centre half back, and that's what he was recruited for until injuries ravaged us and we needed a forward. So yeah, we could fucking see that.
No, should be good to see though. So
yeah, 100%, man.
No worries.
Dude, thanks so much for jumping on. Got 2 more people.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
No worries, brother.
Cheers,
Talk to you soon.
Catch up.
See you, mate. Bye. All right. Aiden, you ready to go, mate? Beautiful. All right. Let's go. 2 more. Smash them. How you on, mate?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yep, I can hear.
I just wanted to say, if you could go for one Stevens or Lipinski, who would you rather?
I think based on look, I think Stevens being a top 5 draft pick, he obviously went 5th with Sydney for a reason. But Lipinski for I absolutely rate Beveridge and as a coach and what he's been able to do. Having Lipinski, who is already obviously more years than Stevens, ready to go. Callum Toomey said he could potentially play 22 games. Big bodied as well. I'd probably go Lipinski if I had to choose. Long story short, I'd probably go Lipinski if I had to choose one. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'd go Lipinski. I think Dylan Stevens, he hasn't played enough games, and it probably says something. If you look at like a Jackson Haitley as well, if Dylan Stevens was really that good, he would be playing for Sydney. Whereas, like, you can see what Lipinski did, because was it 2019? He had a really good season. I think that 2019 was like 22, 23 touches a game. Obviously fallen a bit out of favour, or not out of favour, but can't really get a game. But that Dogs midfield is unbelievable. They got Lockie Hunter, like the 7th option.
100%, yeah.
And I work with someone who was the Dogs recruiter from, I think, 2005 to 2019. And he says a big mistake a lot of AFL clubs go is when they start fishing in the bins of other teams. It's like, if a player's not worked out, it's usually for a reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know if going after a Wiedemann and a Lipinski and a Stevens is the greatest strategy. I'd maybe rather us hit the draft. But I know that's a bit difficult with day cost, because if we try get a pick 15 or whatever per se, that'll get absorbed straight for day costs.
Yeah, and like that as well. Like, do you going by just a quick of what you said, do you, to get a pick, say you want to pick 15, right? You're gonna have to try something good for a pick 15. Do you think that's a pick 15 could play 2 games in 4 years? You know what I mean? So do you go with someone who Lipinski, like someone ready made like Lipinski, or do you recruit a forward that doesn't work out and Wiedemann's there just there. You know what I mean? And like I said with
It's a gamble.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's a gamble, but the
100%.
draft is very high risk, high reward.
100%. Yep.
Whereas going through the trade period, it's a bit more low risk, low reward.
Yeah. Well, look at Cameron as a good example. I think he went at
Darcy.
No, not Darcy. Sorry, yeah, Darcy. So when you said Darcy, I thought of Darcy Moore for some reason. But yeah, Darcy Cameron. So we gave pick 60.
Oh, that was very
56.
low. The Ned Guy masterstroke, as you call it.
Yeah, the Ned Guy master. What a fucking legend, man. But yeah, that
we don't speak of him anymore.
Yeah, like you said, it's low risk, low reward, but sometimes, fuck, man, it pays off. But everything football related is either a gamble or luck. Like Magpies Inc. was saying, it's all luck. Look at Jack
100%.
Watts, number one draft pick, and where is he now?
Dane Swan, what was he picked? He was in the 40s or 50s or?
Yeah, he was. Oh God, hang on. He was really. Someone in the chat will know. It was really, really low. Yeah. So exactly right. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. But I know what you're saying, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you, but I'll leave it there because I think you want to go. So
no,
thanks for
man,
having us on. And
I love the look. People are saying 56, so you're right. 58, so pretty
low.
fucking pretty low, pretty goddamn low. And yeah,
well, we're gonna have to be making a few picks like that because it's AFL rule. You have to make 3 picks, is it? I think
three picks, but I think
because a lot of our picks are going to get absorbed through Dacos to get those points. So we're
100%.
gonna be left with really low picks.
Yeah, it's going to be, and I think, hopefully we can still, there's been a lot of talk about Dib in the chat. Hopefully, if he goes higher than pick 25, I don't think we have that.
We won't have the facilities for that, will we?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Unless they're really creative. And look, teams don't, as much as they say teams don't want to help other teams out, when people were suggesting, if Collingwood kept pick 2, we could have had drafted someone else, but then you have to ask you have to the Kangaroos not to pick Dacos with 1. Why would any team help you? You know what I mean?
If I was North Melbourne, I'd be like, what, stuff Collingwood. Why are we going to
100%? Yeah,
make them use that pick like Adelaide do every year. You see it every year. Adelaide just bid on players just for the fun of it.
Yeah, exactly right. It's just like it is what it is. No one helps you out. So yeah, so you got to be selfish and you got to be creative, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting off season, mate.
It's short. It's soon, isn't it? October 4th or?
Yeah. It's a few weeks after
that date rings a bell. October 4th, I think.
Let me see for the draft or the
off season, the trade period. I think maybe.
I can't see it on a quick Google chat. Google thing, unless someone said it in the.
Surely some lovely people in your chat must know.
Surely. October 4th is start of free agency. So yeah, you're right. Fuck mate, your memory's so good. There you go. October 4th is start of free agency, and that's where things are gonna be a little bit spicy because I think Josh Thomas is our and Pendlebury is our only free agents of the year.
Yeah. How long would you give him contract?
Pendlebury?
Yeah.
I'd be giving him just 1 year as top ups.
Yeah.
I'd love to give him fucking 4 years, but even maybe a 2. But I think I'd just give him 1 year as top ups at he's surely
he's not going to go play anywhere else.
No, he won't play anywhere. No risk of losing him. But it's just about how much money is he on? Is he taking 300,000, 400,000 or something like that? So yeah, and that's all about cap. I think Bianco even signed for 1 year to for a bit of cap relief as well. So, and you'd want to sign him up for fucking 6 years as well. You know what I mean?
I like him.
Yeah, I like
Not
future captain, mate. Bianco.
Big call. Who was the captain with when Dacos and Real and Anderson were in the one
Yeah,
team? Bianco?
And how insane is that at the Chargers? It was and Jamara was there, McRae was there as well. I'm pretty sure.
I think
It was a
Elijah
all-star
Hollins
team.
too.
Pardon?
Elijah Hollins, who went like pick 6 or 7 for Gold Coast.
Yeah, it was a all-star
Pretty
team,
stacked
and
team.
our boy Bianco was fucking captain of that. So that says a lot about him.
Trennan just leading the Chargers.
100%, man. It's gonna be good. Aiden, thank you so much for joining me, brother. I appreciate you. I think you there? Yep. Can you hear me? All right. Aiden, thank you so much. I think you just dropped out there. All right, Sush, you ready to go? Lucky last, mate. Beautiful. Let's do it.
G'day.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. What are your thoughts? Give me your thoughts, mate.
Well, I reckon we have a strong chance for Dylan Stevens and Lipinski. I'm pretty sure he's coming to the Pies for a future second round pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I
you
don't know about
we get
Wiedemann.
both of them?
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know about Wiedemann. There's not much talk about him, but we're interested in him.
Yeah, and I don't think there's going to be much talk, while Melbourne are in the grand final, So, but look, I think two of those three guys are a good get. Three of those three guys are a steal. And there's a lot of talk about draft picks and how we recruit them and stuff. And the recruiters now aren't dumb. They know what they're doing. They know that giving up our first round draft pick was fine. They know how to maneuver themselves in the draft, and they know what everyone's fucking worth. So there is a chance that we can get all three. Chat, let me know if Sam Wiedemann out of contract, or so can he walk into the preseason draft? I don't think he can. I don't think he's out of contract. Anyway, yeah, Sush, what do you think about the new coaches, mate?
Yeah, they're good. Especially Lepage. I wanted him.
Yep.
He's got he played for Brisbane in that 3-peat. He's got a lot of experience around football. I think he was in the leadership team, I'm pretty sure. And I reckon he'll be good. And the same with Bolton. He's been a coach for Cartel and was in the coaching staff at Hawthorn. And
Yeah, Bolton. Yeah, like I said earlier in the stream, Bolton is another really good get as well. As is Justin Lepage as well. Just quickly, Swoop, off topic. Can you do a pre-grand final? Yeah, so I'm going to do. I'll do a pre-grand final Squawk, and I'll do a grand final stream. We'll get a bit fucking messy on stream, watching the grand final together. That'll be fun. What are your expectations for next? Who's my tip? Fuck, I don't really know. Like I've said, Bulldogs from the start, but fucking Melbourne are just what they did on the weekend is just absolutely insane. And I don't know, like they could win it. And look, there's a couple of things that you want to see. You want to see the Doggies get up because they're just a fantastic side, right? And they've only won a handful of premierships, and you want to see them get another one. But you want to see Melbourne get up because, Neil Danaher, Jimmy Stein's passing away a few years ago now. Fucking Ron Barassi. The last premiership coming in 67 or whenever the hell it was. So, and of course you got the Trelaw thing as well. So, look, I said on Twitter that it's a good guy grand final. Whoever wins, everyone wins, except for the other team. But yeah, what about yourself?
I reckon D's by 11. Yeah.
11 points or goals?
Points.
Okay, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mate, that'd be absolutely
Hopefully
nuts.
it's like a close grand final, like goes. Oh, it could go into overtime, or that would be pretty cool to
Oh
go into
god,
overtime in the
I'm
grand.
already getting fucking nervous thinking about overtime. I remember, you know, but and it would be deserved as well. They've been sitting
Yeah.
1 and 2 for so long. This
Yeah.
season, they're arguably the two. Okay, I'm going to say arguably the two best sides of the year. Obviously, you got a good side if you get to a grand final. But during the season itself, they were two of the best sides, and Bulldogs just placed out of the top four by a couple of points. So it is going to be it'll be the game of the year. If the prelims are anything to go by, it'll be the game of and sometimes grand finals aren't the games of the years when they should be. But this is going to be down to the wire. Someone just said a goal after the siren. That is fucking cooked. That is cooked. But yeah, look, I might have to go for the doggies because I've got some very lovely cousins who support the doggies, and I don't like seeing him cry. So I think I might support them and ride the wave with them, mate.
Yeah. What about your tip for the Brownlow?
It'll be Bontempelli, I think.
Yeah.
Best.
And then second, Ollie Wines probably.
I think Ollie Wines. I think Clayton Oliver's had a good season as well. And it's the next brigade, isn't it? It's the young brigade coming through. There's but yeah, if Bont doesn't get it, I think Herald Sun had Ollie Wines getting something like 37 votes or something. Would be insane. But Wines, it'll be Wines, Oliver, or Bontempelli, someone in that mix. But I'd love to see Bont get up.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Sush. We're going to leave it there, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Yep. See you next time.
Peace and love. See you then, man. All right. Cheers. Yep. All right. This has been a monster fucking stream. An hour and a half. It is 10 o'clock. Thank you all so much for joining me on this Tuesday night talking about everything. Really appreciate it. Lots of videos coming out. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Follow me on all my Instagram accounts. So yeah, I'll do a Squawk on grand final day. We'll have a couple of drinks at night. We'll watch the game together. It'll be a bit of fun. Be sure to follow me on all my socials as well. Obviously, Instagram is where I'm posting the most. Twitter, if you want a bit of a deeper dive into my personal life. Follow magpies.inc on Instagram. Magpie Season on YouTube. Go sub. Both really good mates. I love you all. Good night. Enjoy your rest of your Tuesday night. Enjoy your Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Peace and love. Love you all. Swoop you later.